Right with me again. Welcome back for another bang of feature. Today we are going to react to a really interesting video of boss revealed the inevitable downfall streaming culture. So let's go, chat. This is gonna be fire. Let's go.
Joy, why not? Hey, come here. Excuse me. Excuse me. What that? Hold on. Excuse me. What? Damn, where'd you go?
This is
Damn,
crazy, man.
bitch disappeared.
When I watch those streams that Adrian Bronner is in, I physically get like sick to my stomach.
My first thought whenever I see this content is, who is the target demographic? Just think about the fact that there are people out there whose this is their love island.
I ain't gonna lie, you look good as Thank you. Man, I've been on you for like, God damn, bro. Bro, you can't make this up, man. Come on, every you on.
But honestly, it's turning into what is unfortunately in this society inevitable, and it's no longer giving entertaining, it's giving scary as ever and like a ticking time bomb. The streaming world has been blowing up lately, especially platforms like Kick, especially because they, I guess, have less rules and regulations.
Kick is a little more forgiving.
Kick streaming is crazy, man. It is crazy place to stream.
Yeah, but they're starting to be a lot more like serious on their TOS, because obviously everyone wants to make money from ads. Everyone wants to build the company, but you can't really like build it up if like no one wants to sponsor you, no one wants to run ads. So like Kick's starting to build it more of a TOS now.
Yeah, and it's pretty safe to say Kick was always inevitably
weird place to stream, chat.
going to produce clips like this.
Yo, this is crazy, man. Acting like this, like doing this in front of thousands of people, man. This is crazy. Doing this on live in front of thousands of people. This is crazy, man.
Go.
Like, relax.
And this is one.
This is crazy, man. This is crazy. I like chat. This is disgusting behavior. Like acting like this is just crazy, chat. Like on live in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people, man. Wow.
Of the many clips that I've seen come out of the streaming world that are very questionable, but specifically also from this man, Adrian Broner. And he is a streamer who also streams with this guy named Dean the Great. And then we have people in this community talking about how freaked out he is. And no, that's not freaked out. That's genuinely scary. And honestly, I feel like there's a lot to be said about Kick,
really.
streaming in general, and all of the things. So of course I had to talk about it while I get ready, because you know it's time for yet again another unfiltered get ready with me. I have been loving the Refi primer lately, and I love using this especially on my more inflamed days. The roller part, my allergies have been tearing me up. Whenever I need a good depuff, this comes through. And whenever I want to go on a hot girl run but be gone, overfit you tend to connect with that when the streamers, when the bigger streamers in this field were people like Jay Cinco, who kind of popularized it.
What's the steps you take to become a shark?
Shit, you just gotta be on shit, bro. You can't be scared. You feel you fearless.
But basically, it's just focusing on like parties and women and picking up women. It's almost like pickup content, but for a bunch of YNs who make money. It's basically look at how much money we make and like how many girls we can get. So yeah, it's pretty safe to say that most of us who have been aware of the streaming world could have predicted something like this happening eventually. Now, honestly, there have been a lot of questionable moments in the streaming world, but I feel like we've seen more and more clips resurface since these two popped out on the scene. I wasn't aware of them until this situation.
These two full men, chat.
And funny enough, actually, with Dean the Great, the first clip of him I ever saw was a clip of him making fun of a girl for being Indian.
Dean, what's your name?
Hodaya.
Who?
Hodaya.
Hodaya? Where you from?
India.
Oh my God.
And
Nah, that was funny. That was funny. That was
my
funny.
book.
That
He
was
started
funny.
off on a really bad page for me already when I saw that clip. And then we have these clips that have come out recently, which, to be fair, he isn't actively participating, but he also isn't actively intervening for the most part.
Hey, B.
Usually, of course, with
Wow. Wow. It's not even funny, but wow. To be just honest with you, Judge, I just feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like black people are going streaming, man. Black streamers, right, have won streaming culture. But if you take a look at what the streamers, like the non-black streamers, they're really doing, you know, they really do real content for their for their community. They really do things. But black streamers, bro, they only produce the wedding content, like always showing off with OnlyFans girls and like just like me, just like this shit is getting fucking gone.
partying, sharking type of content, it includes drinking, trying to get women.
And always showing off with gun stuff, like even though they have like a community of people, but if you most of their fans are kids, most of them.
And probably other substances, but these two, again, like with everything else, take it to a whole nother level. Especially Adrian Bronner, who apparently, based on what I found out about him through my research when I was scripting for this video, he actually used to be a very successful boxer and was actually supposed to be the next big thing
I didn't before this stream
in the boxing world.
What happened to Adrian Broner? Recently, he's been all over social media, but there was a time when he was supposed to be boxing's next big superstar, and after winning 300 amateur fights, he would turn pro, and Broner had a quick rise to the top, but then came his biggest fight in December 2013 against Marcos Maidana, and Broner was a huge favorite against the veteran, but everything went wrong in the fight. First time he'd ever been dropped in his pro career, and then in round 8, he dropped him with another right hand left hook, and ultimately, Maidana won by decision, but the next decade was marked with periods of inactivity, personal and financial troubles, most importantly, alcoholism.
And it's honestly really sad because you can see that in effect while he
But like this may need help. You really need like someone truly wants to help you. Like fully. Because even if you got money and shit like that, bro is always like doing wrong shit every time. This is so sad. So sad, Jot.
he's streaming, which streaming is not a great environment, obviously, for someone who's dealing with something like that. But then when you mix that with girls and being streamed 24/7, it reveals a lot. There has been clip after clip after clip of Adrian Bronner being aggressive towards women that have been coming out lately. The first major clip that came out was concerning enough as it is, which was him with this girl, this TikToker. They were like in some type of like kickback, it seemed like, but he was sitting on the couch next to this TikToker named Aya. I've actually been really familiar with Aya. She's a pretty big TikTok girly pop, and she is still extremely young. I believe she's like 18 or 19 compared to Adrian Broner, which I'm actually not sure how old he is, but I will put it on the screen. But he's definitely significantly older than her, and she is quite literally she still has teen in her age. That is extremely concerning in and of itself. But then things get very, very weird because Adrian gets a little too touchy. Before it even gets there, she gets really uncomfortable, and you can just tell she's uncomfortable before she even says anything, but then she gets up to leave because she's not comfortable, and Adrian gets a little touchy without her permission.
Hey, yo, Corey, your phone charge? You couldn't? No, it's 11. Nah, that's cool.
Why I hear music right now?
Oh, no. I played it earlier.
Hey, wait, chill, gang.
It's good?
He's single one out. I gotta sing. No, chill.
This is crazy, because this is crazy. I think like this is crazy. I think like this is wow.
No, chill.
Obviously, a lot of people, even in his own fan base, which is a start,
Touching a teenage like this, like that. You know what I mean? Touching a teenager like that is crazy, man.
but it's definitely not enough. We're like, yo, you're doing too much. You know what I mean? Like, that's a little.
It really is doing too much, man. Like touching people, like, even if it was like a 25-year-old girl, you don't touch people like that. You don't. You simply don't touch people like that. This is crazy, man.
Too much. So then he comes out and basically explains that, oh, I was just trying to get her attention and yada, yada, yada.
I apologize for asking this.
By doing that, by doing that.
Yeah, but
Okay, thank you. I hope you say that on live too, because
it is on live, baby. You good?
Okay, yeah, because
He meant to get your attention, and that ass was there.
And then a lot of people in his audience were like, yeah, honestly, like now looking back at it, it does kind of look like he was trying to get her attention. Let me ask you this. Would he grab a man's attention like that?
Thinking like that is crazy. Thinking like that. Yeah.
No, he wouldn't. And how this was able to kind of skate past kick without any repercussions, honestly, very disappointing, but not shocking or surprising in the slightest. Obviously, nothing was really done about it. And in the moment, too, I could tell that his friend, Dean, Adrian's friend, Dean, the one that he usually streams with, was a little bit like, bro, chill out, calm down. But it almost seemed like he didn't really want to make too much noise about it. He just kind of wanted to be like, yo, like, just hush, hush, keep it down, whatever. So part of me is curious whether or not he would be this interventive if they weren't recording and on camera, but that's a different conversation for a different day. But either way it goes, it's still very interesting how so many people in that room were pretty quiet about it and were kind of like, you know, just kind of looking at him a little bit sideways, but especially the way that he reacted here. I mean, like, his friend was holding him back, but like, what if he wasn't? Is that not concerning enough to kind of pull your friend aside and be like, hey, like, if you don't get your together, you can't be a part of this anymore. This could very easily, and I'm not surprised if it hasn't already, very easily lead to something way, way, way more extreme. Why he is...
Yeah. Man, like, as I said, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like these black streamers, like, ruining this streaming culture. So streaming is beautiful, man. Streaming is like, I think, one of the best thing the internet. But these people are owning it like they're doing everything on like streaming. And this is just so sad. It's just so sad that acting like this, doing shit like this to get views and money. It's
Still around women after that incident, in that type of setting with alcohol, knowing that he has an issue with that is beyond me and is beyond my comprehension. But again, anything for content. And the thing is, too, a lot of people find this behavior funny. They're like, oh my God, he's so freaked out.
this is not funny. Oh, oh. But if you someone like that, your sister like that, she ain't gonna be funny. She ain't gonna be funny at all. Like if someone like even try to touch your sister like that, this ain't gonna be funny. This is not funny. Like I condone this behavior.
Like, oh my God, like he has to chill with like a stupid sticker. This actually, again, is not funny. It's not light. It's actually very, very serious. So the other part of it too is that I feel like a lot of people are letting their misogyny show with this situation as well, with the way that they're responding to it. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, Aya shouldn't be in that situation in the first place, which when you're young, we've all been there though before, where we're young, we don't really know the full extent of the world. We think we're invincible. We see no issue with hanging out with people way older than us in private situations. But that's just an age gap. Again, this is why it's like, it's not Aya's fault. It's not the teenager's fault that she went into this environment and.
But as a woman, I don't know what we're doing in places like this. That's to me. Like I'm not saying that this kind of behavior is like acceptable, something like that, but just as a human being, just to like think to know which places to avoid for your safety. I just feel like it like as especially as a woman, I just feel like you need to know which places to avoid for your own safety and dignity. Because everyone, I think everyone know this man, and everyone knows that he got many problems. Like he got problems with alcohol and shit like that. But man, just I just feel like if you don't want to be, um disrespected, I just feel like you need to avoid some people, and some situation. But again, this is not acceptable. That's all just.
She was treated this way by this grown ass man, it's the grown ass man's fault. And it's so interesting how somehow, some way, society has always and will always continue to find a way to make things like this the fault of women.
The girl who got touched by Adrian, she didn't deserve none of that at all, right? But she put herself in a situation that was potentially dangerous, and you're wearing little.
We were doing in place like that. At the end of the day, she was 19, or something like that. We were kid at the end of the day. So, yeah.
To nothing on.
Even with a lot of these situations that have come out recently, the newer clips that have resurfaced, a lot of people are like, oh, well, they know what they're doing.
But again, this is acceptable. Acceptable. This is not like acting like that. Acting like acting like you know, yeah.
there, they know what they're there for, they're dressed in a certain way, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, this type of rhetoric is the exact rhetoric that has allowed men to get away with making women uncomfortable. There is a huge power dynamic here, and I feel like this next clip that I'm about to show you guys kind of solidified that for me.
Go.
Like, relax.
I left my phone over there. So you could tell he's basically, Adrian Broner is trying to take this woman, like make this woman go to his room, right? And you could tell like there's this moment of like where she's genuinely scared. Like she's genuinely panicking a little bit. Like she's like, okay, like chill out. You know what I mean? You could tell that the girls are like, oh, like I left my keys over here. Like they're trying to like get away without angering him or without kind of making him get aggressive, right? He even snatches the Cheetos from the girl's hands seconds later after that the friend of the girl who was also being dragged into the room said something about the keys. They had a feeling because again, this is not unique to women. Women deal with stuff like this all of the time. I feel like streaming and this situation in particular is just showing behind the curtain a little bit. Things like this happen all of the time, and unfortunately a lot of us women have been conditioned to approach certain situations in a certain way, right? It kind of reminds me of this TikTok that I actually reposted the other day.
I was very scared moving to England because I knew the systems that I studied from were very different.
Studying at the ISC has definitely...
Thank you, Lord. Sorry for this. Subscribe, don't forget to like, to comment, and do everything. When we just the men and the whole stupid instead of telling me and my family. Yeah, she's doing too much, but yeah. Get what she's trying to say. Get what she's trying to say.
Genuinely, unfortunately, it's funny, but it's not. That TikTok was funny, but it's also not funny.
Yeah,
it's funny and it's
funny.
equally not funny because truly and honestly, that is why a lot of women have been conditioned to react to certain situations in a certain way to kind of make it so that they're not in danger. So even with this other clip of these women, they were on the yacht and Adrian again is getting very aggressive, pulling this girl every way. And you could tell she's like very visibly uncomfortable. She's like, oh, like chill out, like you don't have to do all of that. And then after that, she's like, it's cool, but like you just didn't have to do all that.
Relax, you cool, we can chill. You cool, we can chill.
But you could tell it wasn't
Chill. They need to chill that. Chill.
cool for her. Like you could tell she was just saying that so that she kind of kept the peace a little bit. And I feel like that's a huge part of what a lot of people don't realize about this type of culture. It's like, it's not that women are enabling this type of behavior. It's not that women are inviting this type of behavior. It's that society rewards this type of behavior, and women are a lot of the times not able to stand up in the way that a lot of people would want them to, because realistic is not realistic. It's honestly so sad because I feel like stuff like this is never taken seriously and it's being seen as entertainment, which it's not. You could tell by the way that the audience talks about these situations. It's also really interesting that in a lot of these clips, a lot of people are being silent bystanders. There's so many people in those rooms. And it's really interesting because it's again showing us a lot of the behind the scenes of stuff that happens every single day. It's just being recorded, and by what we could tell by what's being recorded, it's like, wow, that's very intense. First of all, imagine what's not recorded in those situations, but also in situations globally, even just nationwide, even just state to state. It's alarming, but it's a very, very extremely telling thing that we're seeing in the streaming world right now. And I honestly don't know what the solution is here, but I feel like we as audiences need to stop rewarding this type of behavior and content. And it's really unfortunate and sad that platforms like Twitch are not only platforming this, but have almost been seemingly encouraging people to do what they can, say what they can with. And you could argue that that's for freedom of speech reasons and yada, yada, yada. But that's the exact reason why places like Reddit had to quite literally get more regulations, or else they would genuinely be aiding in some very ethically questionable things. Genuinely, it's getting to a point, and I really hope that someone steps in, either Kick or, you know, Adrian Broner's family. But also, behavior like this is not excused by substance abuse. That's part of the reason why it could be amplified in a way where it's more overt, but those behaviors are still there and are still on him. I just used the Sephora brand lip liner. I'm not sure if I like this lip liner. I like the color.
End of the video, guys. Thank you. That was interesting, really interesting subjects. Everything was very, very interesting. And the beautiful lady, the video, the subjects, everything was fine. So yeah. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for being here. This is the end. I think I'm gonna go and live my life.